James Stewart, winner of our last stop in Dallas. Ricky Carmichael, the all-time winningest AMA rider. And Chad Reed, the 2004 defending champ, together again as 2 hours of Supercross kicks off next. Kawasaki's Grant Langston comes to Pontiac looking to make history. Already world champion and AMA motocross title holder, the affable South African looks to add a 125 Supercross title to his mantle case. In his way is KTM's Josh Hansen. And Suzuki's Davi Millsaps, only a few precious points off the series lead. It all comes down to this, a one-race shootout in Michigan. The 125 East Supercross finale is next. Welcome to the historic Pontiac Silverdome, just 30 miles outside of Detroit for ESPN2's coverage of the 2005 THQ AMA Supercross Series. And hello once again, everyone. I'm your host, Todd Harris. Well, tonight, the South African Grant Langston on board his Kawasaki goes for his first ever Supercross title. Currently in the point standings, he is 7 points ahead of young Josh Hansen on board the KTM, and Davi Millsaps sits in third on board the Suzuki. It would certainly be a historic night for Langston. For more on his story, let's check in with my colleague, Cameron Steele.
Well, Todd, as you can see, Dan Rambert, Grant's mechanic, is doing some final tuning on the number 8 Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki. They're getting ready to go for their first championship together. Actually, Dan's first championship altogether. But Grant has a few under his belt. He's a former world motocross champion in the 125cc class. He's also a champion in the outdoor motocross series, but never in Supercross. But this year, it looks like Grant really deserves it. He's led the most laps, he's won the most races, and had the most Butterfinger crisp hole shots. It looks like it's his season, and you know what? We talked to Grant a little bit earlier about how it's been going.
Yeah, definitely. You know, this year's been very good to me. I've had, you know, so far 3 race wins and, you know, leading the points. So, you know, however it turns out, I still think it'll be a good season for myself. And, you know, I've had some bad luck over the last few years and just injuries. And it's just frustrating when you're not even racing. So to be out racing is always the, you know, the best thing. And then, you know, winning is just kind of the cherry on the top. So, you know, I think so far so good.
Grant Langston comes to Pontiac as the favorite and the man to beat. But this week, all the talk was about Josh Hansen and Josh Grant after their on- and off-track altercation last week. Yesterday, the AMA gave both riders fines of $5,000 and $2,000 respectively, and placed both riders on probation for the rest of the year, including the Outdoor Nationals. We talked to both riders about what happened.
We'll start off Daytona. You know, he made an aggressive pass, and we both went down. I mean, you know, unfortunately, but same week, or same thing happened in Dallas last week. I tried to make an aggressive pass, and of course, we both went down. And it just showed that, you know, when I went back up and gave him a high five after Daytona, the feeling wasn't mutual. And, you know, we got into a little altercation in the tunnel, so we got to the next, what was it, the race last week, and then heat race. Me and Millsaps kind of got into it, and that was that. And, you know, I thought the move that Josh did was maybe like a little uncalled for. But whatever, you know, it's finished. I was definitely, you know, hot and heated, but, you know, went back into the tunnel. We kind of got a little, you know, talking, a little shoving going, and, you know, that was pretty much it. And, you know, things, you know, fell apart after that.
Both riders have put the incident behind them. Both have changed their focus to winning the race tonight, and Josh Hansen could take home the championship tonight as well.
I think between me and Josh, Grant's over. And whatever. Life goes on. I'm out there. I mean, I want to win. I'm not out there. I don't want to worry about who's going to take me out or who I'm going to take out. I'm going out there to win, man. I set that behind me a long time ago. It's time to move forward.
It's going to be clean. I mean, I think we both done what we've, you know, we both got fined, and, you know, it's tough. So, I mean, I don't think it's going to happen again, and if it does, I guess we got to start all over.
So as that drama plays out, number 188, Davi Millsaps, tries to move up. He currently sits in third. Can he take the title tonight in Pontiac? Stick around. 125 East, heat number 1 is next.
mentioned, with this long starting straight, it's a little gravelly when you get into this first corner, so you're in fourth gear. You're going to have to be careful when you get on the binders. A small rhythm section, then they get into this lane. There are multiple choices, and you may be able to squeeze a triple out at the end. You go under, then you go off the 65-foot finish line jump. Get down the downside. Hard left turn into the whoops. You're going to have to carry the speed because you're running into a steep face to get over the downside is very sharp. Inside and outside line available there, going into that corner on the step on and step off. Another triple. This little jump, flat face. Very hard to get over. Very few riders will be trying to do it. Through the whoops, both rider lines are going to be good. They're going to have different ways to go through it. The triple jump, 65 feet once again, then you hang back right onto the starting straight once again and headed back towards the finish line. Back to this left. Again, some riders having to single that section as they get into the rhythm. Watch out for the pass blocking on the inside of the corner and watch out for those walls on the under. Throw the whip and you're done. That's your MX versus ATV Unleashed track map.
So we are just about set to go racing. Thank you, Cameron, for that MX versus ATV Unleashed track map. As we take a look at our track facts, though, interesting. 70% sand, 30% clay mix, and a lot of lime, Cameron. We got a lot of that on the West Coast. That was tried to during that 4 to 9 hour span to build this track. Not too technical, but very fast. As it says, the whoops are more peaked and closer together. Flat turns require much more throttle. So there you have it. You are set to go here in Pontiac as we get ready to go here. 125, heat number 1. Here's how you make the main event. 2 heats, 18 transfer, then 1 LCQ. Only 4 transfer there, giving us a total of 22 riders in the 125 main. As we take a look at our 4 starting grid, there you see Josh Hansen and Davi Millsaps in there. And Josh Hansen and Davi Millsaps, interesting story, those two getting together. Also, Matt Walker, number 122, had a chance to talk to him in the pit earlier today, Cameron. He says, I got nothing to lose. I'm going to go out there and put on a show.
Been flying in practice well. He had some of the fastest lap times all day. The other 2 riders you mentioned, they are in this for the championship as well. And Josh Hansen said, hey, I just got to go out and win and let everything that happens happen behind me.
Davi Millsaps, 188 out of Georgia, the 17-year-old phenom. This kid is the real deal. As he gets set to go, this will be 125, heat number 1. Millsaps getting his groove on right next to Hansen. They are currently running 2 and 3 in the point standings. Josh Hansen with a great start. He will pick up the whole shot. So it's Hansen on board the KTM in first place. Brock Sellers sits in second. And here comes Branden Jesseman.
Jesseman with a great move there. Just kind of finding his spot and going for it. Get right past Sellers. It's something you definitely want to do. Sellers hasn't been well, but he did have huge, fast lap times in practice as well.
Davi Millsaps currently mired in 7th place. This is 125 heat. Heat number 1. The title comes down tonight, but Josh Hansen out in front, Cameron, doing exactly what he needs to do.
And you saw both riders there have a little bit of problem with that step up. The track has been groomed since the final practice. So some of those little ruts and little bumps they're using to get over obstacles are not there anymore. You can see a full flip just a little bit, and that could be a factor.
The top 3 starting to pull away already. Your leader, 125, heat number 1. There's Davi Millsaps trying to get around some of the slower riders, but right now he's in 7th. We remind you, though, the top 9 will transfer to the main event. So Millsaps right now in a pretty good position, but Cameron, he's got to move up quick with Matt Walker just to his left.
And you know Matt Walker's looking to be really aggressive and make his moves quickly as well. And he's never been one that's afraid to mix it up. So let's keep an eye on these 2 riders as they buzz the field. Look how great Davi. Everybody's talking about how good Davi is really was. Consistently he's been looking good all day here. There's that step off. You see him getting
Davi Millsaps currently in 5th place. There's your leader, number 100. That is Josh Hansen in first, 68. It's Branden Jesseman 5th and 2nd. Then Brock Sellers, and there's Millsaps once again. I'll tell you what, Cameron, he has found a nice rhythm on this Pontiac track.
Just trying to look at some of the way he's riding the motorcycle. He's being aggressive, moving back and forth. The one problem about this track, you can see it behind. Watch this, going for that move. It's not really going to work. Everybody is saying this is a one-line track. There's not a lot of ways around people. So right now, he's behind a rider who is a bit slower than him in Troy Adams. But as you can see, the fast line is full of Adams. Millsaps needs to get aggressive in the corner, dive underneath. Here you see him going to the inside as he gets out on the starting train.
Davi Millsaps getting by number 36, Troy Adams. It is Millsaps now in 4th place. Troy Adams slides back to 5th. And Josh Hansen continues to lead in this 125, heat number 1. 1 through 9 to the main event. Everyone else in the LCQ, we are scheduled for 6 laps. So far, so good. If you're Josh Hansen, you're doing exactly what you need to do. And here comes Millsaps once again, hearing the words of Cameron Steele, going aggressive, almost going off the track right there.
He was in the good line as well. Sellers on that inside line. The problem with that is when you go down that step-off, instead of stepping off, you have to go down and G out and double out of it. And it's a tough way to keep your momentum going forward when you're going up and down.
Brock Sellers, his story has been documented, getting the tonsils out. We saw him the other day, Cameron practice. Looked like he lost about 15 pounds.
Definitely. And he's one of those guys that's super fit. Look at that. He's not giving up the line either, but Millsaps is going to push his way around the outside. I was saying, Sellers is a guy that trains, very physically fit, and a bigger guy, usually, you know, like kind of strapped, and now he's pushing away, as you're saying.
Brock Sellers wishes the best. He continues to put the weight back on and recover. That's the problem. A lot of people never seem to have the problem putting it on, but Brock Sellers is a very fit rider. So Davi Millsaps has moved up now to 3rd place. As you look at your leader, that is number 100 on board the KTM, Josh Hansen. He got the whole shot, and he is led throughout. The white flag is out. This is the final lap, but Davi Millsaps is coming up hard. Looks like he may get the pass on Branden Jesseman, but it is all Hansen right now, as he will come around for a few more turns, and hopefully, for his sake, pick up the victory. He puts himself up to try to track down Grant Langston, our current leader right now. There's Branden Jesseman, number 68, 188 is Davi Millsaps, but your winner, 125, heat number 1, Josh Hansen. Branden Jesseman holds on for 2nd, and Davi Millsaps will get 3rd. Brock Sellers checks in 4th, Adams in 5th, and then in 6th place, the guys I would really win it and still made tonight. 122, and that's Matt Walker looking very good. When we come back, we'll talk to our winner, number 100, Josh Hansen. Stay with us more from Pontiac after this short break. And we welcome you back to the THQ AMA Supercross Series here in the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan, as we just watched the conclusion of 125, heat number 1. As we take a look at our results, it is Josh Hansen getting the win, followed by Branden Jesseman and Davi Millsaps, your top 3. We send it down to the track, and Jamie Little.
Well, Todd, as we've been talking about all night, it's down to the wire. Only 7 points separate this man from becoming champion. Hanny, how important was getting that heat win going into the final tonight? There's so much pressure between you two.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. I'm glad that I have a good start and stuff, you know, for the, you know, gives me good gate pick for the main event. So I look forward to giving a good race, and you know, hopefully everything pans out on my side.
Well, we'll see Josh Hansen in the main, but you know, Supercross is not all about racing. There's a lot of sights and sounds. Now it's time for the Suzuki All Access.
All right, thank you, Jamie. A veritable cornucopia of fun with Suzuki's All Access. The last 2 years, the fans have come out in droves despite cold weather, snow, freezing rain cameras. This year, we're bathed in gorgeous sunshine, and they still come out of the woodwork.
Oh, definitely. I mean, the weather was perfect. Everybody's cruising the pits. The riders were interacting. I mean, you got to come to Supercross to check it all out. But if you can't, you can check out Suzuki's All Access.
No question about it. The pits were packed, and we expect a sold-out house near capacity tonight at the historic Pontiac Silverdome. All right, we are about set. 125 East, heat number 2 from Pontiac, Michigan. 20 riders, 1 through 9 to the main. As we take a look at the Thor starting grid, Grant Langston, he has the point standings right now. Will be going for the title tonight. He'll also be running our helmet cam. And we wish him the very best of luck. But the Zulu Warrior, Cameron, will be very interesting to see how he handles the pressure tonight. He's going for his first ever Supercross title.
Well, I can tell you, just watching him in practice, everything has been looking perfect. His mechanic said he was a little bound up last race, but this race he's been looking smooth, looking great. Fastest rider in final practice as well. And a look there from the onboard. It's pretty crazy thinking about that. Oh, what, the whole shot guy straight out of Michigan or what?
Kelly Smith doing it for the hometown crowd, picking up the whole shot. Grant Langston now tucks himself into third place behind number 141.
And look at that on board. Stepping up, not able to get all the way over. Maybe just because he's looking at different lines. Here he's on going along to the slower line on the inside where he has to hop out. No, that's just like 65 feet. I'll air that out.
So it's Smith and Langston as Langston gets the pass on 141. That's Boniface and then Josh Grant. So that is your top four as they come around on the green flag lap. This is 125 East. Heat number 2, we are taking the top 9 to the main event.
And right now, Grant Langston on the number 8 bike. He's chasing down Kelly Smith. His best finish so far in the year is a 5th, so a whole shot here, maybe a win in the heat would be a great thing to pump him up going into the main event here at the final race in the series.
Well, Cameron, if you're taking a look at the replay, into that first corner, going for the whole shot, 42 is Joaquim Rodrigues, and he goes down hard. He tangles up also with number 333, and that was Eddie Carr.
And now Langston to that outside line. You see he's able to carry more momentum than he is on the inside. Now he's going to be looking for a way to get around Kelly Smith. Again, everybody's staying so much in one line. It's going to be tricky to see if Graham finds the right place to get by. Look at Kelly going inside, too. Trying to cover his base. We'll see if Langston gets momentum going on the outside around.
Grant goes high, gets a lot of speed, slingshots out, unable to track down the Michigan man. That's 39, Kelly Smith out in front. Number 8, Grant Langston running on board. The Monster Energy bike is just flying, Cameron. You talked about his practice time today. Langston just seems to be in one with this. And look at this, he's going to go for the pass right here.
Onto the inside line. Clears that personally, and then he keeps protecting that inside line. Instead of going out and getting on top, he protects and stays inside. Langston to the front. This is dangerous for everybody else at the races here tonight. Getting momentum. Fast lap times in practice. Win your heat race. Gives you a lot of juice when you go into the main event.
Grant Langston takes a quick look behind him, sees that Smith is still there, but Grant Langston now your leader here at 125, heat number 2. Smith now starting to distance himself, and it's Boniface staying in third place with Josh Grant now sitting in fourth, but Grant Langston remains your leader. I just want to point out that Joaquim Rodrigues, number 333, that's Eddie Carl out of Hobart, Indiana. They are both back up and riding, but you are looking at Grant Langston, the current points leader in the 125 East Circuit, looking for the title tonight. Can he pull it off? Can he pull off a heat win? Stick around and find out. Welcome back to the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. 125, heat number 2, your leader, that man, number 8 on board the Kawasaki. It's the Monster Energy Pro Circuit rider, Grant Langston, our current points leader.
And Mitch Page of Pro Circuit putting together that team and doing a great job leading the points on both series, West and East of the 125. They haven't won an East Coast Supercross title since 1998 with Ricky Carmichael. Look at this, here we go.
Nice battle in there. Boniface and Grant both getting by Kelly Smith. So Kelly Smith thought he was covering just 1, 2 go through. So Smith, who got our whole shot, is now fighting himself back and forth. Remember, the top 9 going to the main event. Everyone else goes to the LTQ, and Grant Langston is checking out. But Josh Grant, interesting story there, Cameron. You touched on top of the show, fined $2,000 with an incident with Josh Hansen. How much of that messes with the rider's head?
Well, one thing that it definitely does is the rider, not so much the money, but being put on probation is an issue because Supercross is a physical sport. Not just how much energy and how much training you have to do, but sometimes it's about bumping and running. And so now he's underneath the microscope. He may not be able to just get underneath Boniface and throw a little elbow type action. You know, I'm not saying elbows like they're dirty. I'm just saying getting up, giving a push because it is slippery here. Riders are going to be trying to go to the outside to keep their speed up, leaving those inside side's open, but Josh Grant has to think about it more than anybody else.
Yellow flags come out as the rider gets stuck in the middle of the traffic. Our leaders go through. We are on the white flag lap, the final lap. There's Boniface, there's Grant. They are running 2 and 3. Your leader, Grant Langston, halfway through the final flag lap.
And Boniface has been having a great season. If it wasn't for the 21st at Indianapolis, he'd be right in there in the hunt for the top 3.
Bringing it around one more time. On board with Grant Langston, your winner, 125. He's number 2, so Cameron, he does a lot for his cause. First of all, just making it to the main event.
Very solid performance. As I said, he's dangerous. You give him some momentum, he really can get flying with it. He has just been looking so comfortable and having a good time.
Let's take a look at our final results. 125 East, heat number 2, your winner, Grant Langston, on board the Kawasaki, followed by Steve Boniface, Josh Grant, and Kelly Smith. Ryan Mills round out the top 5. Let's send it down to JB.
Well, if you know this sport, you know that the whole point of racing is to win a championship. But this man right here has the championship on the line, but it's been a long road to get where you are, Grant. You've had some bad luck over the last few years. How important is it to you to win this championship tonight?
You know, definitely it's very important to me. I've been, this is my 5th season in the U.S., and, you know, Supercross, it's kind of haunted me a little bit, and it feels good to be out leading a championship, and, you know, so far it's been a great season. You know, no matter what happens, you know, 3 wins. It's been great. You know, the teams has been awesome, so far it's been good for me, and I'm really looking forward to it tonight.
Well, at 22 years old, Grant Langston has sure showed a lot of maturity, and hopefully it'll pay off in the main event.
All right, thank you very much, Jamie. Congratulations to Grant Langston. The fans are pumped up. They're also excited about the release of a new movie. We're going to show you a little inside look at the production of Supercross, the movie.
Beautiful, beautiful, hot people.
Gorgeous young women.
We got the lovely Sophia Bush playing my love interest. We've got Cameron Richardson, hot, both hot.
It's just really an extraordinary cast.
Daryl Hannah, Robert Patrick, and David Carradine, the list goes on. Being approached to do a movie about Supercross, your first thought is awesome, but then it's tempered with, it has to be the right mix, you know, it has to be the right director, the right riders, the right cast. When I saw Steve Boyne was involved with the project and seeing his past, what he came from the stunt world, from motocross riding, I felt we were in pretty safe hands.
I have a background in coming out of the racing world as a young guy, and it's a sport that's been dear to my heart for a long time.
Yeah, there was this little TV show he used to do, Dukes of Hazzard.
He patented the whole, like, Duke slide across the hood. That was him. No one knows that, but that was him. That was Boyum.
He's a former stunt guy. He's got something, I'm probably completely wrong, something like 200 credits to his name. Taught Robert Duvall to surf in Apocalypse Now.
My character is Hyper, and she's a funky motocross chick. Her father helps sponsor the boys that need sponsoring. The underdogs.
And I mentioned Michael Vogel, but he's not too much to look at. He's kind of gross.
Yak hair. It's yak hair. I had already shaved when I found out about this, and so I spent 2 hours in makeup today getting the hair put on. Not liking the yak hair too much.
Steve Howie, Mike Vogel, incredible young actors, movie star quality.
Steve Austin. He's got the big trailer. He's been doing motocross movies for about a decade now. He brings a lot to the sport. I mean, I think he brings a lot of new fans to the sport.
This is a passion for him and a lifetime achievement, you know?
It was a truly great experience.
Fun to watch.
Well, we're looking forward to the release of that movie, seeing how Supercross is portrayed on the silver screen. Right now, let's take a look at our LCQ results of the 125 class. McGordy, Hoffmaster, Hansel, and Hibbert, they are moving on to the main event here at Pontiac. The time has come for South African Grant Langston. The Pro Circuit Kawasaki rider is the favorite for the title as he chases his first Supercross crown. The final battle for supremacy in the 125 East is next.
A shift has been made.
Welcome back to Pontiac, Michigan. It's the THQ AMA Supercross Series on a picture-perfect day in the state of Michigan. And hello once again, everyone. Todd Harris, Cameron Steele, Jamie Little reporting from the track. And we have had a great night of racing thus far here at the Silverdome, and still the main event yet to come. The attendance has been absolutely fantastic. As we said at the start of the show, we've had rain, we've had snow, people have turned out, but tonight, 51,000 fans competing against some beautiful weather here in Michigan. Right now, let's send it down to the track. That's where Jamie Little has this on the Pit Report.
Well, guys, Josh Hansen and his father, Donnie Hansen, are the only father-son duo in AMA history to win Supercross races on the AMA circuit. Donnie Hansen won his first Supercross race right here in Pontiac in 1982. Now, with all the success Little Handy's had, and as he sits on the line, he gets ready, he's rolling up right now to prepare for hopefully his first ever championship. You can imagine his father has had a lot to do with it.
My dad has given me a lot of advice, like, you know, outdoor of 82 when he won his outdoor championship. It was kind of the same deal. He was like, I don't know, he was like 12 points, I think, maybe behind, or something behind Rick Johnson going into the last moto. My dad was just going out there to win the race. You know, he was out of the championship. And he went ahead and Rick Johnson, him were in a battle, and Rick Johnson ended up DNF, and he broke his back wheel, and my dad won the championship, you know. So he says, you know, anything can happen. Just go out there and try to win the race. He's all, you know, you got nothing to lose now. Either you're going to get first or second or third, you know. It's just go out there and just make things happen. And, you know, that's what he said. He said, don't worry about that kind of stuff, you know. And yeah, I'm just happy to be here, and being in this position is awesome. It's definitely exciting coming down to the last round.
So it all comes down to this as we take a look at our Suzuki starting grid. One man will walk away with the 125 East title. Josh Hansen, Grant Langston, Branden Jesseman, Steve Boniface, Davi Millsaps, really the key players. Matt Walker looked great in practice and his heat race, Cameron. He's in there really to be a spoiler and to grab some glory for himself. How is this thing going to play out? What does Grant Langston need to have happen?
Well, for sure, if Grant Langston wins or finishes in the top 4, he clinches his first Supercross title. Josh Hansen wins, Grant's got to finish 5th or worse. Millsaps can finish no better than 3rd. Millsaps wins and goes for the championship. Grant has to be 7th or worse, and Josh, no worse, no better than 3rd place. Wow, that's a lot of figuring out. We're going to have to figure it out.
All right, here are Cameron's keys, how they're going to do it.
Start is everything. It's one line. You got to get in there and get to the front right away. Watch the tire wash. What does that mean? Well, we got slippery corners. We've been seeing tires slide out all night. You got to make sure you're in line and then carry the whoop. Don't drop down. You got to be precise at all times.
30 board is sideways. It's the 125 East finale.
Someone's walking out here with the championship crown, and Langston with a good start.
Grant Langston inside, but gets a little swirly. Riders go down. Langston keeps the bike going, but he is now slid back to 8th place, and Hansen is in front of him.
Kelly Smith with the hole shot. That's his second Butterfinger hole shot of the year, and his second of the night.
Right behind Smith is Joaquim Rodrigues, number 42, and then it is Josh Hansen, the top 3. Grant Langston sits in 6th place. Someone's going to be crowned a champion tonight. Will it be Hansen, Millsaps, or Grant Langston?
And Millsaps mired back in the pack, looking about 10th place.
Oh my, the 125 East main event from Pontiac. Joaquim Rodrigues now moves to the front of the pack, number 42. Kelly Smith behind him, and Josh Hansen now sits in 3rd place. Grant Langston's moved up to 5th place, Cameron, and you talked about it. If he gets 4th or better, it's all over.
Yeah, there's no math necessary in that case. So if it were to finish just like it is right now, Grant Langston with the title. But Josh Hansen is looking at moving forward. Look at him driving the whoops next to Kelly Smith, and he's got him on the outside. Dives to the inside, doesn't really protect the line. He's going to go for the on-off. It's much faster to go that way. Now he's looking at Joaquim Rodrigues, who's leading this thing right now.
Number 100, that is Josh Hansen on board his KTM, sits in 2nd place. Number 42 is Joaquim Rodrigues, just ahead of him.
And for Grant Langston, only Justin Buckaloo separates him for the position he needs to be in, that top 4 spot.
I'll tell you what, it's got to be some kind of scare for Grant Langston as they came into that first turn for the Butterfinger Chris pole shot. The bike got very squirrely on him. He got hung up with a lot of traffic. And here's Grant Langston. Does he make the pass here?
Well, I think he plays it safe. He knows the championship's on the line. He's a multiple-time champion, smart guy. He's going to try to drive past Buckaloo, but he's going to try to keep it clean.
Here comes Hansen. He's going to get a ride on Rodrigues to the inside. Look how he crossed over.
Woo! Hansen, they got a little stutter whoop on that inside, so he tried to get by. Oh, and then he goes to the inside again, but he saw that stutter whoop before. He had to try to go around the outside of it, didn't have the speed, and now he's got the inside line.
Hansen looks over at Rodrigues to clear that triple. Does he have it? Yes, he does. Close the line down on Rodrigues. Your leader now, Josh Hansen. Grant Langston, in the meantime, has moved into 4th place. So he has done what he needed to do with Josh Hansen racing like a man possessed. Knows that he holds his own fate if Grant Langston somehow stumbles.
Well, definitely stumbling is a huge possibility here. We talk about the loose dirt. Anything can happen at any time. And Hansen going out and checking some tough blocks on the outside.
Talk about the development of Josh Hansen. He has been fantastic. On the left side of your screen, that is the leader, Josh Hansen. But Grant Langston is sitting in 3rd place and moving up fast as he gets ready to make a pass. We are on board with Grant Langston on the right.
And Langston making the pass stick on Kelly Smith right now. He has moved up into 3rd position. Horrible news for Josh Hansen. Great news for Grant Langston. Finishes like this, he's going out of here with the #1 claim.
I had a chance to talk to him earlier in the week, and he said, you know, this one would be so much sweeter because he really didn't get to celebrate that outdoor national title.
Correct. And one thing let's point out real quick as we watch Josh Hansen circle in front. Davi Millsaps is riding on fire, back just 2 positions. Oh, and Millsaps has now moved in.
Millsaps and Mills going at it.
But
there's Rodrigues
not giving up with what's going on. This was the pass for the lead, and Hansen making it stick on that inside. So a lot of things happening here on the track. Hansen doing what he needs to do by winning. Langston doing what he needs to do by moving up into that top 4. Langston's next thing he's got to think about is, does Millsaps catch up to me, and what kind of things can happen when riders get together who are fighting for a championship?
Well, Grant Langston's in a perfect position right now, 3rd, so if it stays like this, as Cameron pointed out, the title is his. Your leader right now, number 100, that is Josh Hansen on board the KTM. Joaquim Rodrigues, number 42, on board the Honda System 2nd. In 3rd, number 8, Grant Langston on board the Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki. And here comes Millsaps in 4th on board the Suzuki.
And we've been talking about Millsaps, and there he is in your screen right now. He has been moving quite quickly. Now, he doesn't have the fastest lap time, so I will point out that both Langston and Rodrigues have put down faster laps than Millsaps, but it seems like he has been the guy on the move catching up.
Davi Millsaps, the 17-year-old phenom out of Cairo, Georgia, on board that Suzuki. Being tutored somewhat by Ricky Carmichael, he has the benefit of being on board the Suzuki Makita. Also, Sebastian Tortelli on that team. There are the points as they stand right now as Davi Millsaps continues to uncork some fast laps. Just ahead of him is Grant Langston. It looks like Langston's going to try to make a pass and move into 2nd place.
And Rodrigues is nowhere near this points championship, so he couldn't care less what Grant Langston has going on. He wants to be on the podium. He wants to stay ahead of him, which is a dangerous situation for Grant. As you see Grant grabbing some wheel up there, and Millsaps has come up right behind him.
Playing it smart, all the key players in the top 4 positions. When we come back, we'll see how this thing shakes down. It's Hansen, Rodrigues, Langston, and Millsaps. Welcome back to Detroit, Michigan. We're in the Silverdome. Your leader, Josh Hansen. Joaquim Rodrigues sits in 2nd. I'll tell you what, Josh Hansen's got a great lead, but the battle right now is Grant Langston and Davi Millsaps. Remember,
Millsaps is in this position. Now, Grant didn't want to tangle. He can just let Millsaps go by, and he is still a lock for the championship in 4th place. There was no one directly behind these two riders in 5th place. Langston has no jeopardy as long as he stays off the ground, but it looks like he's going to give it a race here.
Millsaps to the inside of the line. He's got Rodrigues just in front of him. Takes a look over and shuts the door a little bit on Grant Langston. And Millsaps and Langston hit the triple at the same time, but Langston at the inside line exits quicker.
Langston not giving up the position. I'm a little bit surprised. I mean, I know he is the Guru Warrior, and he wants to beat him, but the championship is what matters. Don't tangle with Millsaps.
So Davi Millsaps gets the pass. He is moving up. Grant Langston now, if I'm a mechanic, the guys at the pit board tell him you're clear, you're free and clear, because as you pointed out, Cameron, he's got about 100 yards over 5th place. But you never want to put yourself in that position where it is such a precarious place for him right now. In 4th, yes, he's got the title, but can you imagine if something happened with the last few laps and he doesn't have that position to fall back on?
I don't want to imagine it for the poor guy.
Grant Langston 5th and 4th. As we take a look at the start one more time. This is your Butterfinger crisp whole shot replay. It was Smith, but get a look at Grant Langston as he just goes out of view there. Gets a little bit squirrely right here. Smith clearly picking up the Butterfinger crisp whole shot award. Great save for Grant Langston. We are back to racing action. It is Hansen, Rodrigues, Millsaps, and Langston. And now looks like Davi Millsaps is going to go to work on number 42. That's Joaquim Rodrigues.
And Davi Millsaps was sitting with Troy Adams during Friday practice, and we were talking about, you know, the races, what's been happening with the points, and Troy kind of joked, he goes, well, it's kind of my fault Davi's not more in the mix, and I took him out in Daytona, and it was that result. Look at that pass for 2nd place.
Millsaps is motivated. And now, Cameron, unofficially, if it ends like this, Langston and Hansen would be tied, but Langston gets the nod on the tiebreaker, so it is that close here in the 125 East. It is still Josh Hansen out in front. Davi Millsaps now sits in 2nd. Joaquim Rodrigues in 3rd, and Grant Langston is in 4th. Now coming up on Langston, not that close, I don't want to alarm anyone, but about 100 yards behind Langston is Steve Boniface. And you got to be kidding me if Boniface factors into this thing, somehow gets past Langston, then you crack out the advocates, Cameron, and do some quick math.
I don't want to get involved with that math, I'll tell you that right now. But Boniface has been the one rider who's really been on fire at a lot of races. He's done very well. He had one horrible race, scoring 0 points in the 1st round. That really killed him in this title race for the top 3.
Grant Langston making his way around there, 42. Joaquim Rodrigues just in front of him is 2nd place, 188. Davi Millsaps and your leaders. Josh Hansen did not get the whole shot, but has ridden a fantastic race. There's Millsaps, 188. There is Rodrigues. And he's got a lap rider behind him. So an 84 is the lap rider that is just in between him, and that is Tyson Haskell. Millsaps in 2nd, working through the back markers right now.
Nail-biter time out here with all the things going on. Langston there in top of your box. You're keeping an eye on him, and as you pointed out, Boniface is closing in rather quickly, actually.
Yeah, he's got it down to about 40 yards now. So if you're the Grant Langston camp, the folks at Monster Energy Pro Circuit, you got to tell him he's got to get up and get moving quick.
And if you heard the fans there going, making some noise, there was a rider down. I believe Davi Millsaps had just a little slip up.
Grant Langston, the top left-hand your corner. He is in championship position right now. If he stays there in 4th, the title is his. Josh Hansen is your leader, and he is going to need some help from Boniface. I never thought I'd say this, but right now Josh Hansen's got to be rooting for Steve Boniface.
And definitely that little slip-up by Millsaps has rearranged the running order. Rodrigues has now moved back into 2nd place.
So it's Hansen, Rodrigues, and Millsaps. Then Grant Langston, and Grant Langston's going to work on not 1, but 2, but 3 back markers, and that gets Boniface even closer. But Josh Hansen, give this kid some credit. He's doing everything they've asked him to do at KTM and then some.
For sure, and he said earlier tonight he was going to go for the win and let whatever happens happen behind him. And right now, there's a lot of action going on, and Tommy Hoffmaster is the guy that a couple of the riders there in the points battle have had to really get past there as a lapper.
Let's quickly check in with Jamie Little.
Guys, Grant Langston's mechanic, Dan Rambert, sweating like no mechanic is sweating down here. I just asked him what's happening. He said Grant's times are falling off the pace a little bit right now. He's shaking his head. He's frantically writing the times each lap, guys. It's getting exciting.
And that's going to make you panic, Cameron. Good report, Jamie. As we look at the time, Grant Langston's best time is a 48. His last lap of 49.6, almost a second and a half slower. And that is not the direction that Grant Langston needs to be going, because Steve Boniface is closing in, and Grant Langston needs to finish in fourth or better to get the championship.
And Millsaps, as you see right there, getting past Boniface. Rodrigues. Talking so much about Boniface.
Your winner, Josh Hansen, picks up the victory. Davi Millsaps will get second. Joaquim Rodrigues will get third. And your champion in the 125 East, Grant Langston. He did exactly what he had to do, and that is get fourth. So Langston pulls up to the men who dominated the race, but Langston will get the title. We'll talk to him when we return to Pontiac. Well, it's a bit convoluted, but in the end, it is Grant Langston who will walk away with the 125 East titles he celebrates with his wife. As we take a look at the point standings and the results, it is Hansen getting the win. Millsaps Rodrigues, he's standing by with Jamie.
Joaquim Rodrigues finally finds himself up on the podium for the first time. I know just a couple weeks ago that you were injured badly. Obviously, things came together for you tonight.
Yeah, I've been working real hard to get here on the top. My team has been supporting me a lot, and I've been not giving the results that they want. So finally I got a good result, and especially with the crash in Orlando, it took me out for a week. And I was in the hospital 2 days, and they said I could die with the thing that I had. So I was real scared, and I didn't even know if I was racing. So then I decided to race because I love to race, and I want to be here so bad, you know. So I just came to the race. I'm glad I did.
It's now time for our Nissan turning point. In the main event, it was this pass by number 100, Josh Hansen on Joaquim Rodrigues.
Rodrigues didn't have to run through the whoops. Hansen pulls up alongside and then out-accelerates using the inside line, and that was all it took.
Josh Hansen picks up the Nissan turning point. Let's go down to Jamie.
Well, two riders you've been hearing about all year long, Josh Hansen, Davi Millsaps. We'll talk to him first. Davi, you rode like a man possessed tonight. What was your motivation?
I just went out there, rode as hard as I could. You know, I had nothing to lose, so I went out there and I was catching everybody. I went over the second, catching Hansen, and went down in the back over there. So, I didn't go my way tonight, but I caught back up to second, and I'm happy to be here. I wish I was up top with Grant and all them, but I ended up third overall in the season, better than last year.
Davi Millsaps, only 17. We'll see him up here a lot more, I'm sure. Little Hanny, Josh, I have to ask you, I saw your face over there. What did Larry Brooks tell you?
I thought I had it, I didn't see Langston or nothing, and I won the race. I'm like mixed emotions right now. I'm like so happy that I won, and I'm so bummed that, the championship, I tied for the championship. It's like, dude, I worked my hardest out. I worked my heart out, to try to get here, and the God up above's been good to me for sure. And, I'm just gonna move on and make sure I win next year. I can't thank KTM Red Bull enough, Dunlop Tires for giving me the greatest start, FMF, Troy Lee Designs Dragon, Alpine Stars, man, there's so many people, my mom, my dad, my little sister, the Lord Jesus Christ, and, I did all I can do, and now it's just time to move on.
Josh Hansen, you're going to be seeing this guy many more years. Guys?
We are T-minus 30 days to 125 Dangerous Senior East-West Shootout in Las Vegas, Nevada, the official destination of Supercross. Well, the 125 East goes down like this. Grant Langston and Josh Hansen a tie, but Langston gets the title by virtue of winning more races. He's standing by with Jamie.
Guys, this is the stuff dreams are made of right here. The #1 plate finally to Grant Langston. Grant, this year, new team, family, all the hard work, all the setbacks these last years. Finally, you get this speech to be a champion.
It's awesome. The team's just been fantastic. I cannot say enough for them. They've been behind me 110%, and it's definitely been a tough season, and that wasn't the way I wanted to win the championship, man. I rode so tight, and I didn't think I would maybe struggle with the pressure, but I think that's the worst race I've had all year, and it was pretty close, but, you know, I just kept my cool and just tried to make myself relax, and I just want to thank everyone. You know, I want to thank my team, the Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki team, Thor, Parts Unlimited, Alpine Stars, Scott, Vans, my family, my friends, KMC. I know I'm forgetting some people. I mean, Bridgestone Tires. I mean, they've all just done a fantastic job, and without them, I wouldn't have been able to do this. And I want to give a special thanks to 3 people that were behind me, you know, from the beginning. Bruce Sternstrom from Kawasaki, Mitch Payton from Pro Circuit, and Jeff Fox from Parts Unlimited. They were the ones that put this all together and gave me the opportunity to win them a championship.
All right, I know this race on the top of the top, guys, for Grant Langston's accomplishment.
A great night in Pontiac comes to a conclusion. Our next show comes to you April 17th, 10 p.m. to midnight from Westfield in Seattle, Washington, where the 125 West will resume. For Jamie Little and Cameron Steele, I'm Todd Harris. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader of sports. Good night from Pontiac.